Hi guys, today we're going to be looking at the sine function, the mother graph, and how do you make adjustments for it in grade 10. Now the same thinking can be used to the cos graph, and I hope you can understand how to use this moving forward. Practice some questions. Okay, so let's look at our original sine graph. So there's going to be sine x. Afterwards, we're going to look at an amplitude change, which we're going to use 2 sine x, and then we're going to see the last shift that you're going to be using, which is sine of 2x. Now, I want to show you how to be able to do this without the calculator so you can understand what these shifts are doing to the function. So it's important, leave your calculators down, and it's important to learn this. All right. So we're going to draw our axes here. Okay, we're going to go 90, 180, 270, 360, 450, 540, 630, and then finally 720. Okay, let's put this, make this a bit more accurate. So a lot of people find this section tricky, but once you really understand how the mother graph works, which is your original sine x graph, you'd be able to answer a lot of these questions. So that's exactly what they're expecting you to know. So we have our -1 here, we have -2, we have 1, and we have 2. So our original function has a period of 360 degrees and an amplitude of 1, and we're going to touch more on that later when we go into the other graphs. So we're going to go up here to 1, go down here at 180, at 270 it's -1, so we're going to make sure we get that point right. 360 goes here. Now we're done with one period, because now we're going to repeat the graph again. We're going into the second period. Okay, great. Now the key points to note here is that it reaches its highest point at 90 and 1. The lowest point is 270, -1. Then we have 450 and 1, 630 and -2, and we have 360 and 180 as our x-intercepts. Now, when we look at this graph, let's talk about the amplitude. The amplitude is the distance between your highest point and your lowest point. Now, distance is not a positive or negative value. It is just distance. It'll always be positive. Okay? It'll always be positive. So the distance from here to here is 1 unit going to this point, and then another unit going to this lowest point here. So that's 2 units. And we're going to get our amplitude by doing this distance divided by 2. And you'll get your amplitude, right? So we're going to now go into the sine graph where we have 2 sine x. Okay, and what does that now mean? We're now going to go all the way up to 2 at 90, still cross this point here at 180, all the way to -2 at 270, 360, 450 at +2, 540 and 0, 630 and -2, and 720 and yeah, to 0. And if we look at this, we can see now from our highest point to our lowest point, there's a 4 units difference. Can you see that? 4 units. So we take this 4 and divide by 2, we get this amplitude in the front. And it's important to note, this is what will tell you your amplitude of the function. We will look at one with a negative amplitude afterwards, but let's go into our sine 2x. Now this 2x affects the period. So with our period, we're going to take our period's going to equal our original period for this function is 360. So we're going to say our period equals 360 divided by this value. So let's actually work with a slightly trickier one. Let's do sine of a half x. So if I go here and I say my period will equal 360 divided by a half. What does that then equal? 720 degrees. So now my function is going to go like this. I'm going to go here and it's going to stretch. You can see I'm going to reach this 180 point at 1, right? I'm going to go through 360. I'm going to come down here at 540, and then I'm going to go to 270. So let's recap that. So instead of going at 90 and 1, I'll be at 180 at 1. I'll go through 360 instead of 180. Okay, and then I'm going to go from here through 540 and negative 1 instead of 270, and then I'm going to meet again at 720. I hope you can see with this that our highest and lowest points haven't changed. All we've done is we've basically stretched the graph going this way. We stretched it, and we stretched it this way. With our amplitude, we basically took this point here in the graph, this point in the graph, and we stretched it going this way and this way. Another one that you guys may be doing is, if we have, what would sine x plus 1 look like? What that would now mean is we're going to start at 1, go here at 90, come back down to here at 180, touch here at 270, and then go back here at 360, and then repeat that. So we're going to go here, here, touch that point there, go there. And then from there, we can then repeat the graph again. We're going to go all the way up to this 2 point. We're going to come down to here. And go all the way up to this point. We're going to be at here at 540. We're going to touch at 630. And we're going to meet at 720. You can go and check this on your calculator, and you'll see what I'm saying. But I want you to understand what is the shift that's happening. Now, all we did was, if we look at our original, which is this black one, we've just taken the same original, and I'll show you, we've just shifted it to up here, and all the points are the same. So it's important for you guys to notice that. The last thing I want to show you is what happens when we have a negative amplitude. And a negative amplitude means we're going to flip the graph. So let's go negative sine x. We're going to flip the graph on its x-axis. So instead of us going up, we're going to go down through here, back up here, and then back at 360, just like this. Okay, all that's happened now, instead of us going in an upwardly direction and working, we're now going in a downwardly direction and working. So it doesn't affect the period, only this affects the period. This number in the end will affect where your starting point is. The function will be the same. This will affect whether you're going to go up or downwards first. This will affect your amplitude, which is how far the distance between the highest point and the lowest point. And these concepts can be applied to your cos function as well. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below how I can make the videos better. All the best, like and subscribe.